The light in my house is so crazy right now. I don't know. Okay. How do you honor the angsty self-sabotage voice that stomped its feet when you tried to change? Okay, one, I would neutralize your resistance to the existence of that voice that's wanting to resist change. Because that voice is letting you know, hey, we're not all on board here. Or there's a large part of us who are in active revolt against what you're trying to do, and we want answers. And so talking to that part of yourself, not like they're your enemy, realizing that they are a part of you that deserves respect, and respecting them and saying, okay, I respect you. You're not my boss, but I do respect you. How can I help you feel better about what we are going to do anyway? Hello. Okay, so I don't normally answer health things just because it's not my expertise. Jenna Sophia, great energetic health work. I recommend talking to her. But I will say that when I was going through like a chronic health thing, that's also when I started realizing that I was timeline jumping. And one way that I was doing that was prioritizing having fun. And I started dating because dating just felt like it didn't matter to me. And I was just kind of like, that's fun. I'm just going out and I'm doing things. So I started dating, and that helped kind of like distract me. And then I also was doing things that I felt like would help me in 3D. So like changing my diet felt like my mind was like, oh, okay, we're actively doing something that promotes health. So I recommend taking an action in 3D that makes your mind feel comfortable, and also distracting yourself by doing something that you would do if you were healthy as much as you can. When nothing is coming in, there's a couple things. One is examine what you're saying to yourself when nothing is coming in, because that's going to be a lot more indicative of your identity than when something is coming in. When good things are happening, it's very easy to hold your identity, but when things aren't happening, it's very easy to decide that you're not that thing that you're trying to be, and you're not your desired person. And so tapping into like, am I remaining this person regardless of what's happening around me? That's a great thing to check in with. And also asking yourself, what would my desired self have to say about nothing happening? Like, how would they approach that? What meaning do they apply to the nothing happening, to the nothingness that's happening? And usually just taking on the perspective of your desired self is really great to help shift that. I normally don't find that action is the solution to nothing happening. Unless you're in like desperation, then you should probably take some sort of action, and not rely on energetic work. That's how I'd approach that. I'd ask myself like, well, what dreams do I feel worthy of right now? And I would lean into those, acquire those, experience those, and then move on. Because I think sometimes like we think that the dream has to be this big, far away, vast thing. And it's like, well, there's a version of it that's closer to you now. Walk into that one, master that one, learn to feel worthy of that one, and then continue to grow and grow and move and move and move. And then you look back one day and you're like, oh wait, I accomplished that dream that I had like 5 years ago, and it's gonna feel very casual and like kind of just like, oh yeah, duh, of course that happened. But one step at a time, what do you feel worthy of now? Allow that to be enough. So when you're creating something and something similar comes in that's not quite what you're wanting, but it's close, one, appreciating it and like letting yourself know, great job, you're getting close, you're doing it, it's not exactly what I'm wanting, I would actually prefer more of this. And then get really specific about how it would feel to have that opportunity within your work schedule or in the flow. What would it feel like getting even more specific about the sensation that you would feel if you were to experience that, and kind of cleaning it up a little bit. Like if you were making art and you created a shape and you're like, I'd prefer it to be more like this, you could just change that shape slightly, and the way that you'll change the shape is through sensation, through identity. So get clearer on how you would feel, who you would be if you had that specific type of experience. Sorry. Great question. Okay. So I would get clear on why the jump feels too big. Ask yourself, what part of me is resisting this jump? Not to like push past it or solve it, but to get clear on why it feels like the jump is too big. Does it feel like it's not safe enough? Does it feel like there's not enough time? Does it feel like it's not realistic? Does it feel like you don't have the system set up to be able to get from there to there? And when you get clear on why the jump feels too big, then you have an answer to what that mid jump would be. So let's say if it's not safe enough, what would be a safer destination? If you don't have enough time, what could I do within the amount of time that I have? Like getting clear on why the jump feels too big, that part of yourself that like is like, this is why the jump is too big, and soothing that part of yourself, meeting that part of yourself's needs. Absolutely, it's all the same shit. But it all symbolizes different things to different people. So you are going to want to learn you and learn what connects you most with that desire for romance, what makes you feel the most connected to that, what identity feels the most connected to that. But it's all the same. The light in my house is so crazy right now. I don't know. Okay. How do you honor the angsty self-sabotage voice that stomped its feet when you tried to change? Okay, one, I would neutralize your resistance to the existence of that voice that's wanting to resist change. Because that voice is letting you know, hey, we're not all on board here. Or there's a large part of us who are in active revolt against what you're trying to do, and we want answers. And so talking to that part of yourself, not like they're your enemy, realizing that they are a part of you that deserves respect, and respecting them and saying, okay, I respect you. You're not my boss, but I do respect you. How can I help you feel better about what we are going to do anyway? I'm just gonna record one more and then I'm gonna hang out with my fiance in the studio. Growth in this year of 2023, what do you feel? I feel like everyone is going to experience a reflection of their identity as usual. It's going to be the same thing. And identity includes expectations, sensations, feelings, thoughts, beliefs. All of that is going to be reflected right back into your reality as usual.